it's an experienced offensive line also.
In Mike Walsh, they have one of the great coaches in city football. There's no question about it. Again, I mentioned they were the 4A runner-ups a couple seasons ago, losing a heartbreaking game to Dorsey 10-8. They won by the 2 points last year, 22-20 over Taft. He's won a couple 3A championships under his administration. What is the thing that makes Walsh go? Why is Mike Walsh such a dominant coach at this level?
Well, I think preparation and hard work has to do with it. I mean, these guys spend countless hours there, and what they take pride in is outworking the opponent, spending more hours before the game preparing than the opposing coach. And I think that's, and he also has them believing that they're going to win. I mean, they were trailing Fremont 9-0 in the playoffs. They came back and scored 13 points in the fourth quarter and won. They were losing to Westchester. They came back to win in double overtime. You know, so they feel they believe they could win, and that's what he's pretty much installed in them, is they're going to find a way to win no matter what.
Will the best conditioned team win? I know Taft prides itself. They feel they regiment their players as well as anyone. They feel their players are in the best condition. Many of them go both ways. I know San Pedro's guys are in great physical conditioning as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have some great athletes out there today, and some of the San Pedro guys also go both ways. So, I mean, conditioning is gonna play a big part, and I mean, we'll see what happens.
You mentioned Holman Wiggins, the great offensive player, but tell us a little bit about the linebacker, number 42. His name is Ryan Solomona. They tell me he is a great football player.
He has over 100 tackles on the year, and he'll be in a lot of plays. Him and Derek Harriman, Antonio Bajorquez, these guys will make big plays, as linemen, and they're going to have to pressure the Taft quarterback, Steve Alvarado. If they pressure him and keep him off balance, they feel they have a good chance to win, because Alvarado's throwing for over 2,000 yards. They want to keep him off balance and hopefully put some pressure on him.
Gregory Gauzy, I was out in the San Fernando Valley. I looked at the Daily News, the L.A. Times. All their sports writers are being Taft, obviously, from Woodland Hills. Now, I didn't get a chance to go out to San Pedro today, where you hang out and do your stuff. So what was your prediction in this game?
Well, the last 2 weeks I picked against them.
Okay.
This week I picked them, and they're afraid I'm going to jinx them. So I'm picking them this week in the championship. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I'm picking San Pedro, possibly 16-14. A low-scoring affair, though, I think.
Figures it'll be 2 points, huh?
Yeah, I mean, maybe even a field goal. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be close.
Well, the last 2 years, San Pedro won by 2. 2 years ago, they lost by 2. We'll step aside and have more from the Coliseum. We're getting set for the 4A championship. It's Taft against San Pedro.
Informative.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tony Wong. Here are the headlines.
International. Innovative. ITN World News. Weeknights at 7 on KLCS. Get all the intrigue.
You give me a straight answer. I'll give you one.
And catch all the action. Wednesday.
Okay, I have with me here Sal Castro, who wears many hats. He's a teacher and counselor at Belmont High. He's also a commissioner with the city's Parks and Recreation. Sal, this is a great night so far with our first game. We're getting ready for the second game. Tell us the importance of having city championships in big stadiums like this.
Well, every city back east, like Philadelphia and New York and Boston, they have their championships in their stadiums, their professional stadiums. The large district like this, the second largest in the United States, by right, should be here.
Why do you think it's so hard for us to get the promotion of the city and youth athletics in the city here?
Well, we used to be here for years, up until the Raiders began using the Coliseum. This is the arena they used for the championship. And when the Raiders moved us out, we weren't here for 10 years. So it's going to take a little while for people to get used to it, of coming back to the Coliseum.
Now, one of the things that we definitely need is corporate support. ARCO is here big time. Let us know a little bit about the importance of having that community as well as business support.
Well, of course, an example I can give you is today there was no advertising in any of the television stations about the game. The radio station KNX gave us plugs, but there were none on Channel 7 or 4 that the majors aren't thinking about it, and they should, because the general managers and everybody else talks a good game about supporting public education. But when it comes time to doing something, then they don't. I call them bilingual. They talk from both sides of their mouth.
Now, you've also had some glory days on the gridiron there as a high school player.
Not I. No,
That's you. You never played the game?
No, I played the game, but I wasn't a star.
Okay, okay, you weren't
I was slow but not being that big.
But even if you weren't a star, though, tell me really, what does the kid feel like when he's playing a game, even if he's not a starter?
It's a fantastic feeling. Last year, as a kid, some of the kids are coming out of the tunnel to play the game. The first game, there were tears in their eyes. This year, when they talk about coming to the Coliseum, they don't talk about we're going to be the champs. We're going to play at the Coliseum.
We're going to take a break right now for the national anthem. Hold on. Great. Okay. Oh, okay. Now listen, we did have Sal Castro here. Sal, last question. You are a commissioner with the Park and Recreation, the county. Now, they're also trying to get the L.A. team to come and get another professional team here at the Coliseum. Should there be a commitment, though, if a professional team returns to keep games like this at the stadium?
Oh, yes, definitely so, because I mentioned before, back east, the Eastern professional teams pay for the stadium, the rental for the stadium, and support high school athletics. The Raiders, on the other hand, kicked us out of here. So that was a different attitude. People don't realize it, but years ago, 80,000 people used to come out here to see the city championship. I remember as early or late as 20 years ago, when Banning played Carson, we had 35,000, 40,000 people here. So hopefully we can get the community behind the game, and we'll get the larger crowds in the future.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out with us today, Sal.
Thank you,
Back to the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Gary, Randy Rosenblum, Jeff Nathanson. Now we're set for game to Taft High School. The Toreadors, the top seed in the tournament, a perfect 12-0 under Troy Star. Mike Walsh's football team is 12-1, outstanding, only loss. The only blemish, a 12-10 loss to Washington in Game 5. They've won 8 in a row. Well, Jeff set it up once again. No surprise that these two combatants are here again.
You're talking about a couple of coaches who really want this game. You go back to last year's game, a 2-point margin in the championship game, a game that really could have gone either way, save a couple of very critical turnovers in the fourth quarter. San Pedro wants this game. San Pedro's the type of team that's going to kind of march it out, run the football, play tough defense, and show a lot of heart. Taft is going to come out, I think, and really try to execute a little more at a higher level. They're going to throw the ball more. They also have a lot of defense and a lot of players who were here last year. Those players are ready to go. And you see out at the center of the field, they're having the discussion, and they're telling these players, hey, let's have another great game like last year.
Number 5 there for San Pedro and White is Holman Wiggins. He's a great football player. He's like unbelievable minutes for Mike Walsh. Mike Walsh says he's played more minutes than any player I've ever coached. He'll go on both sides of the ball, but he is so dangerous offensively. He is the focal point of the offense for San Pedro.
And Holman Wiggins had some unbelievable runs in the last several weeks in the playoffs. One I can remember broke the game open in the semifinal. It was pouring rain, it was mud, it was a puddle just about they were playing in, and Holden Wiggins broke free and scored the game-winning touchdown. So he's a guy to watch definitely from San Pedro's end of things.
Taft won the toss. They've deferred. San Pedro will get it first. We're going to step aside. We're going to talk about the Friday night movies in our promo. We're going to get set up for the kickoff for San Pedro, the defending champions. Can they repeat, or will Taft finally get the crown? We'll find out after this.